This podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or BritpodScene on Twitter to find out more.
The RAD Live podcast is intended for mature audiences and contains explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi and welcome to this week's edition of the RAD Live podcast, Random Ass Discussion. I am your host, Paul, the Hat Guy Flinders, and joining me this week we have the Scottish one himself, Alexander McNichol.
Hello.
And the Scouse one, Lewis Ogden.
Hey.
How are you guys doing? How have you been? It's been a while. About, nearly a month since the last podcast?
6th of January was the last one, so just under a month.
Yeah, just under a month. Yeah, it's just been one of the mad times of the year where you just don't seem to be able to, find a second to do anything, really, basically.
Yeah.
More business.
Yeah, you haven't found a second to do anything, have you?
Barely.
So why is Pornhub so quickly searched on your phone?
Well, it's one of them, isn't it? Like I say, I've been busy.
Man has needs.
A man has needs, indeed. You need to make sure it's all working.
But we know it's not.
Well.
Define working.
Well. The plumbing works.
Enough.
Despite the, self-inflicted sort of... Well, it wasn't self-inflicted, but just stuck there with a scalpel in a mirror.
Technical difficulties, that's what you should call it.
Yeah, slightly used, shall we say.
Currently undergoing maintenance.
Fucking needs a sign if he's going to say that.
He's out of order.
You walk around with a sign on your knob.
It's like a medieval fucking punishment there, Jesus Christ. But yeah, if you notice, obviously there's only three of us at the minute, but we should be joined by Adam Cox of Lost Art of Podcasting. He's basically just getting home and I think he's having some food, isn't he? Something like that. And then he'll be on with us at some point.
We know he'll be on.
He will be on at some point. He will be here. The lost one will be here. He's just a little bit lost at the minute. And the fat man himself should be here as well. Mr. Morrison should be here at any point, but his laptop is, shall we say, it's being a bit like me trying to do maths, basically, a bit slow.
Doing a Darren.
Yes. Doing a Darren. To be fair...
It's not me, Darren.
He's not fat, he's poofy.
Wouldn't shock me. Well, to be all fairness to Darren, I was on the last Lost Art of Wrestling podcast over the weekend. We was covering the Royal Rumble, and I'll be honest with you, he was putting some absolute clangers out there on the chat. Absolute belters. He was on fire. Credit where credit's due. So, yeah, he was actually he actually was doing funnies, actual funnies, not just awkward funnies, actual funnies.
Has he been practicing?
It looks like he may have been. Either that, or he was reading out of a book. One or the other. But to be fair,
Garfield's big joke book.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do too bad. I'll give credit where credit's due. So yeah, how have you been? Have you been up to... Well, Xander, it's been a fucking while for you, mate. It's been, well before Christmas since you've been last on the show.
That's because you're slow.
It is because I'm slow, basically, yeah. Oh, the computer's been slow. I've been slow. Schedule's even been slow in a way. But, yeah, have you been up to much, possibly tossing cabers and,
Fucking hiding from the wind, especially the 2 days ago. 2 days ago was nuts. I've got a screenshot of the weather app, and you know how they're never accurate.
No, they're never fucking accurate.
79-mile-an-hour winds with 100-mile-an-hour gusts.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Ripped all the fences down around here, and there's a great big tree that's probably 5-6 foot wide
Which
and
is
about
ripped out the
40 foot high. Nice healthy tree, just completely tipped.
Nice.
And the hole that's left, I could park my car in it.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
So
I mean, we get it, but I'm going to assume the weather in Southport's not much different from Blackpool.
Well, considering we're literally across the way, it's pretty much exactly the same, I would imagine.
Yes. I mean, like I say, well, because we're only a few miles apart, we may have a marathon online any second. So just bear with me. I am just going to add the man.
Ooh,
Add this man.
professionalism.
Yeah, professional.
we're just going to add the man.
Call. Mr. Morrison, add to call. So he should be here any moment.
It says add the man.
Add the man.
Add the man.
Good evening.
Hey, here he is.
Good evening.
Yeah, the whole
Here-
entire Skype is just fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's because Alan has had to set up a whole new Skype account, by the look of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with brand
tell
new
me about it.
picture.
And a brand new picture.
There we go. Yep, sorted. There we are. I'm finally in.
I don't know if it's an improvement or if it's slightly more scary.
I don't know. I'll find out when I hit it.
That's a big ass digit. I feel sorry for the missus.
What can I say? I'm a lesbian's wet dream.
So yes, Alan, how have you been, mate?
All right.
Yes,
Back
you
to
was
start back at Reflex on Saturday.
Woohoo,
This Saturday coming.
Does that mean our venue's back?
Our venue will be back. Yep.
Yes! I love Reflex.
The only bugger that does.
Are we on about a Duran Duran song or what?
That would be too far out of place out of that place, you know.
Yeah. 80s rock venue.
There you go.
Yeah.
You couldn't have got that any. You couldn't have got it any better, Xander.
Reflex and touch face.
But yeah,
Sounds
with
wrong that on so many levels.
yeah. So speaking of Reflex, we may as well announce it now before Adam comes on because he was integral in planning this. We are doing normally when we do a podcast, it's normally a Lost Art of Podcasting and RAD sort of joint show. But instead this time it's going to be Lost Art of Wrestling and RAD. As it's going to be double up as, say, one half is going to be an RAD live podcast sort of thing. And the second half is going to be the Lost Art of Wrestling WrestleMania special. So it's going to be all the predictions for the WrestleMania. So Lewis, you might want to get on this one, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be the Wednesday before WrestleMania. So
Yeah, I saw it in the chat.
Yeah,
I'll get
you saw it.
sorted, don't worry.
But yeah, you've seen it. You know, this is what we're planning. It's going to be... I think it's going to be pretty fucking awesome. And also, if I can fit another RAD live podcast in before it, even better. So, you know, obviously we're going to have more than one between now and then, but hopefully we're going to get quite a busy few weeks of podcasting in before WrestleMania. Because how many weeks is it now? Is it like 8 weeks till WrestleMania, or maybe 9?
A little bit less than that.
Yeah,
it was 9 weeks when Rumble.
Yeah, so it's fucking flying in quick, isn't it? I mean, it was nearly a week ago Royal Rumble happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's mental.
Still say that was possibly one of the best Rumbles I've seen in about easily 10 years.
Fuck it, shall we just jump into it? Royal Rumble, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, you two, Alan and Lewis, you were watching it from Clan Morrison.
Yes.
And I know, you said hi on the when we were doing our live alternative chat. Now, how much of it did you listen to, just for the record, so in case, you might know our thoughts on Royal Rumble already?
I got up to just to the end of the SmackDown tag title match.
Oh, okay.
And then for some reason, for me, my phone stopped working for it.
Fantastic.
So I was just like, oh, okay.
So what were you, just for a bit of feedback, what did you think of it? Just because I want to kind of plug this as well.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. I mean, it's a hell of a lot more entertaining than listening to the actual WWE commentators.
Well, this is it. We call a spade, obviously. So if we think something's fucking garbage, we'll tell you. You know, it was... Well, not the time, that's what we did. But yeah, if you... Obviously, Alan may have heard a little bit of it, I don't know, but...
No, I was in the middle of... I don't know. I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something.
You were being you.
Yeah, that too. No, there was something else I was doing at the same time.
Yeah. But if you watch Royal Rumble this year, you realise Stephanie McMahon is on fucking commentary the last half of the show. Stick us on instead.
As long as she doesn't speak, I still do her.
I've said this already. I think she's all right till she opens her fucking mouth.
What's the commentary team for wrestling these days?
Is it not what show you watch?
Is it not King and JR?
No.
They've all gone now.
Oh, we fucking wish. We fucking wish.
I mean, on Raw at the minute, you've got Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Jonathan Coachman.
Oh, and I've heard of Coachman. I've heard him on the
Coachman started back just this week and replaced Booker T, which is, well, anything's an improvement, really.
I think it's a massive improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive improvement. SmackDown, who've we got? We've got Mouthfuck Tom. We've got
Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and I think Corey Graves does double duty.
Yes, he does. Corey Graves does do double duty. But yeah, Tom Phillips, also known as Mouthfuck Tom. So
Taz has also stopped doing it as well.
Yes.
Taz went to TNA, then fucked off from TNA. So just one of them. But yeah, Royal Rumble. General. I don't obviously go into too much detail on it because I've already covered it on Lost Art of Wrestling, which you can obviously find the latest podcast on there. It's in 2 parts. We obviously did the live commentary. But yeah, Alan, general thoughts.
I enjoyed it. Title matches were shit. I was very, very, very surprised with the Women's Rumble, bar a few minor issues with it, i.e. a certain wrestler doing her so-called kicks and not even touching the person.
Oh, don't get us started on Sasha Banks. We ripped her another arsehole on that podcast. Absolutely destroyed her. Because not only is she fucking sloppy, she's fucking dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Case in point, next night on Raw, she's trying to do a dive through the ropes and she landed on her fucking head.
Yeah. Did you see some of the internet reaction to that? Oh, she tried to do it on purpose. What? Cripple herself on purpose? Are you sure?
Have you not been watching Sasha Banks' freaking main roster career for the past 2 years?
Yeah, either she botches to the point where she injures herself or injures other people. Paige! Oh, sorry. Was that a bit obvious?
Tiny bit.
Yeah, just a bit. So yeah.
But still, I was still talking about it. How rude.
Go on, Alan. Go on.
Yeah, so apart from that, and I can understand why they've brought in, back the old legends that was for the Women's Rumble. Some of them were cheesy as fuck. Other ones were like, wow, she's still got it.
Don't say Lita because she hasn't got it.
No,
I'm not saying Lita. I think she's still fit. Oh, Lita.
Yeah, you could be fit as fuck, but you.
That botched backflip from the turnbuckle was
the moonfall.
Yeah, the flop.
Yeah,
it literally was. It was like somebody going into the Olympic Games and doing the dive in the Olympic Games, jumping off the high dive board and just belly flopping into the water. That would pretty much summarise that whole move up right there.
I can't disagree with that. That's spot on.
It's just big one massive belly flop.
Yeah,
but no, I can understand why they've done it. It is quite a milestone in the whole shenanigans.
Well, let's be honest. Lita's signature move was the moonsault. It'd be like Triple H not doing the pedigree.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just one of them.
Yeah, but so it was a bit of an upset. It was a few minor issues with the Rumble, but overall itself, I was impressed. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Right, Lewis, what do you think? Sorry, go on, Alan. You thought you'd finished.
The main Rumble itself, the men's, I quite enjoyed that. There was a few comedy moments where it tickled me. The whole pancake throwing thing was, I don't know, I shouldn't have laughed because it's like now to do with wrestling whatsoever, but it was quite comical.
That's all. That's my opinion on the New Day. So, just not more of this shit.
Well, I just looked up that last night that you were on about, that Sasha Banks. Yeah, she's shit. She actually just got her feet caught in the ropes.
Yeah.
Face planted the ground.
Yes. It's fucking terrible, mate.
And
Anyway.
just type in Women's Rumble Sasha Banks kicks and enjoy that. 'Cause that is so funny.
Yeah.
It is so
Sit
bad.
back.
It's actually funny.
Yeah, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's that bad. Lewis, what did you think of the Rumble? Well, the whole show, really.
I sort of like to echo Alan's sentiment in that everything other than the Rumble matches were... Well, let's be honest, I didn't really have that much interest in them. The Women's Rumble, I went back and watched both Rumbles the next day, and to be fair to the Women's Rumble, it wasn't the best. Being that in terms of like in-ring quality, in terms of like nostalgia, I sort of compare it to the gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania 17. It was good to see everybody, but just get the fuck out the ring as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
So no issue with Asuka winning. I mean, she's the best fucking woman on that roster at the moment.
Yeah, I agree on that.
And with the rumours going around that she's going to be challenging Charlotte for the SmackDown title at Mania, I have no issue with that as a match, because I reckon that'd be fucking aces.
Yeah, that just screams money.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The only thing I'm going to add about the Women's Royal Rumble, I really hope they're not going to do the same thing over and over and over again in the up and coming years.
No, this will be a running thing.
I'm talking about the whole nostalgia. Oh, right, okay, a main wrestler. Nostalgia. Oh, a main wrestler. Nostalgia. They need more women for it to work. They can't just keep going back to the older generations, going, look, we need you.
Yeah,
Fill the gaps.
The thing is, though, the roster they've got is so paper thin. They couldn't fill 30 people in that roster. What I don't understand is why they couldn't have got rid of, say, look at Vicky Guerrero's spot. Couldn't they have picked somebody from, say, the Mae Young Classic to fill that spot, for example?
No, I actually quite like that.
Oh,
I was actually laughing quite a lot at the fact that Vicky Guerrero was just coming out. I was just like, fair play. To be honest, I was kind of hoping that The Rock turned up with a guitar to sing her song.
What comes out as that as a theme?
Yeah. Excuse me.
But yeah,
yeah. Also, if there's anything you were mentioning before about Asuka Charlotte being money, tell you what is fucking money: AJ Styles Nakamura.
Absolutely.
Which adds on to the men's Rumble. I really enjoyed it. It's probably the best Rumble since probably 2010. The one where Edge came back was the shock return and came back and
Rumble. I'd say that's fair.
That was probably the last decent Rumble, because every single one up until this year's has been pretty dire.
Yeah, it's been a big dog shit.
What about the one Kurt Angle one?
Yeah.
Or am I showing my age?
Can only wish.
With silence.
That's showing my age a bit, isn't it?
Can only wish, Sander. Unfortunately, Kurt Angle's never won a Royal Rumble. You're talking to a wrestling encyclopedia over here, I'm afraid. So there's not much you won't be able to get away with. But watching to do with the men's Rumble, there were some nice surprises. You know, it was nice to see Andrade Almas, nice to see Adam Cole, great to see Rey Mysterio come back. Looked in great shape, and he was in the the tight pants rather than the baggy trousers.
Yeah.
And that last the final four from the final four to the end of the match was really enticing, and even though I had it in my head that Nakamura was winning, I was literally of a curveball when it came down to him and Roman. I was just sort of like,
oh, please
are you
don't.
going to do the typical Rumble thing of just trolling the fans and have fucking Roman win? But they didn't. Nakamura won, and we're getting AJ and Shinsuke at Mania, and I can't fucking wait for it.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing, and I'm doing live commentary for that as well again. So I expect a lot of marking out. Only thing I can't really add much more to that. I mean, it was an okay show. I mean, overall, it was all right. I mean, outside the Rumbles, was there really much to write home about? Not really. The only things I can add, I'm not a massive fan of the New Day, so the pancake spot just fell fucking flat for me, because you knew exactly what was going to happen. You knew exactly what was going to happen. Kofi Kingston was going to... Do you know what? Coxie even called that Kofi Kingston was going to hop around the ring on 1 foot. What the fuck happened? Exactly. It was that predictable, you know. He called it, 2 hours before it happened? Also, the fact going into the Women's Rumble, it was okay. You could tell a lot of the women are not used to bumping over the top rope. But other than that, it was what it was. I don't think you could have expected much more from it. The only thing to add was that Tamina looked like a fucking Las Vegas wedding chapel Elvis. If you think back. And that Naomi looked like an amputated dog when she was on that chair. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I would say 5 out of 10. Watch it for the Women's Rumble, watch it for the Men's Rumble, then turn it off. Because there's not much else of value in the show. Apart from Brock Lesnar giving...
Sticking Strowman.
That
fucking punch was fierce.
You don't have to admit it. The thing is, he connected, and when they did the replay of it, and the amount of times I've seen the replay since, he punched, then he pulled back, kind of realised, oh shit.
No.
If you actually watch it, watch. Watch him doing it, and watch him literally, he punched full force, and then he pulled back straight away with the oh shit look on his face.
Well, did you see Strowman's skull?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Oh, fucking hell. His skull flexed on the other side of his head. It's like, wow.
His Instagram basically after it got a nice cork with a bruise and a swollen chin, and with the other title saying, "Who needs to drink beer when you've got a headache like this?"
Fuck, it looked brutal anyway. So, but yeah, obviously, after the show, after the Royal Rumble, we had the Ronda Rousey moment.
Mm-hmm.
That was shit. It was good that she's in, but at the same time, that was cheesy as fuck, pointing at the sign. Come on, we know WrestleMania. You can stop pointing at the sign. Get on with it. I was expecting a speech, but no, nothing. Just pointing at the sign, and everyone's going around like, right, okay, she's pointing at the sign. What? It just felt a bit too loose. The end, it was just like, big surprise, and everyone was like, going, okay, what do we do now?
Dave, I think Dave Meltzer put it best himself. She was doing her impression of, she was doing the best impression of an actress trying to be a wrestler rather than her just being Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of like the best way of describing the moment, because it didn't feel natural in any way, shape or form.
Not at all. Also, what I had a massive issue with was how it seemed to overshadow the entire Women's Rumble. That's how it came across. I mean, it was like, yeah, right, we've had this moment, Asuka's won, let us celebrate. Next thing you know, Ronda's music hits. I'm like, well, what about Asuka's moment?
Well, the thing is, more issue that you have is that the two women's champions were just stood in the middle of the ring and did absolutely nothing. They were like mannequins.
Well,
at least with Asuka, they'd sort of like did the
shake
little
hands, away.
shake hands, slap away thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Funny. It would have been. I don't know if it's more comical or more thingy. Would be the case of Ronda comes out, stands next to Asuka, and the two champions just fucking kick shit. Laid into him.
Yeah, but she
walking off.
couldn't do anything physical because she's in the middle of filming a movie. And
Yeah, I know that,
there's the Rock thing's anything to go by. They weren't going to make her do anything physical. That's why she wasn't in the Rumble.
But it's a shame. But that would have been the perfect moment. The champions are staying champions, even though they got literally on the cards there 2 challengers. That would have been a nice intro into it, bringing out to the other end, saying, "There's your storyline."
What about Stephanie on commentary?
Waste of fucking space.
Yes.
When she's coming out with stupid like when Mandy Rose came out, she went, "Do you know that Mandy Rose can squat over 300 pounds?" And
how's that gonna help?
I should give a shit. Why?
I can shit out 300 pounds, but you don't see me shouting it.
You do when you're pushing it out.
No, mate. If you shat out 300 pounds, you'd be fucking as skinny as a smackhead.
True story.
To be honest, not the biggest commentary botch. During the men's rumble, when Jinder Mahal was coming out, Michael Cole was dropped the big clanger of saying, "I think this is his first ever Royal Rumble match. He's competed in 2 beforehand, both of which you were commentating on."
Dickhead.
He's fucking useless. He really is fucking atrocious.
But yeah. Also, obviously, the women's rumble. It was part. It was this ongoing women's revolution sort of thing. What do you think it is? Do you think it's morphed into something what it wasn't originally intended to be?
In terms of.
Well, the way I've seen it, I had we had this conversation on Lost Art of Wrestling. Now, obviously, at the beginning of the revolution when they first started it, obviously when the Women's Championship got debuted and the Divas title was retired, they talked obviously about the Women's Revolution. Obviously, instead of calling them Divas, they started calling them Superstars. And we have a Coxie, I believe.
You want to mag?
Hello, Coxie.
Hello.
You on the mag? What's your beef?
Yeah, he's here.
You're on the mic, kid. What do you want to talk about?
How are we doing, Coxie?
My mother is my sister.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well, just anyway, Coxie, we were just talking about the women's revolution in wrestling and what it basically we think has it morphed into something what it was originally intended to be. Now, I was just saying, obviously when the women's revolution started, finger quote sort of thing. For me, it started when Lita and what have you introduced the new women's belt and changed the term diva to women, obviously to women's wrestler. Now, do you think it's gotten to the point where they've just, rather than taking the women seriously, like I thought, obviously the women's revolution, that was what it's meant to be, is it now to basically say, right, let's do everything the men can do, even though we physically can't, possibly? For example, the Royal Rumble, where they're not learning to bump over the top rope, or, for example, what they've just announced, the Women's Elimination Chamber.
Well, first off, hello to you two.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit of a... It's like fucking old me in the deep end, why don't you?
Oh? What's going on?
What?
I didn't quite hear what you said, sorry.
I said,
Hold him in the deep end, why don't you?
Oh,
throw
right.
me in the deep end, like fucking...
I'm trying to keep a flow.
I joined the conversation. It's like, here's 10 questions at once about the women's revolution. Tell us what you think. Like...
Well, we did kind of talk about it on Lost Art of Wrestling, so which I have plugged multiple times.
I wasn't here for that one. Yeah, it's, like from watching the women's rumble, it was what's the word?
Shit.
Like
Sloppy.
Both of them.
Fuckfest.
Oh,
Both of those.
clusterfuck.
Clusterfuck. There you go. That's perfect.
Like they might as well have sort of got rid of the top rope and gone. All right, you have to throw them over the top rope, and then sort of have the second rope as the top rope. That would have made much more sense or something, like rather than them having to try and go over and go repeated attempts of multiple clotheslines where someone can't really go over because it sort of shows that they have to try and like push themselves over.
I mean, how many do you notice actually had to jump over the top rope?
Too many.
Exactly. I mean, this is what I mean by physically. I'm not saying not capable of doing the same as the men. They physically couldn't because some of them had to jump because they were that because obviously the women were that much shorter than the males doing it. Obviously the men could just literally flop over the top rope. But these women had to jump. Some of them had to jump over the top rope.
Oh yeah.
This is why, like I say, a lot. When they start, all right, now we've got an elimination chamber. I was like, oh really? Really? Do we need to do this?
Yeah, because don't forget, Paul. Part of this women's revolution is making history.
But does it need to be made? Is it actually going to be worthwhile? Is it going to be
because it's WWE.
Yes, this is it. But the problem with that is it's like history. Yes, there's good history, like obviously Ric Flair winning the Royal Rumble from number 3 and winning the World Championship, and then there's shit history like the first ever Punjabi prison match. If you get my meaning.
Bit racist,
Paul, I'll say this to an extent. As long as the McMahons are on top, nothing else fucking matters. As long as the McMahons are over and they're getting the fucking 200, 300 million pound TV deal, nothing else fucking matters.
True.
And it's a very sad fucking business model. I realise that, but that's literally what you've got. That's literally how these people are thinking.
This is it. You know what? I'm all for, obviously, women should be equal. Women are equal. But there's certain things, like for example in wrestling match types where it's not suitable. Like for example the Royal Rumble, like we've just seen. Yes, they can do it. Should they? If you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's I don't know. I'm not in favour for this. It's just for the sake of it now.
Mate, women aren't fragile.
Oh, I know that.
No. That you hate to state that because that's what you were, leaning towards there.
No. That's not what I'm stating at all. What I mean is
man.
it's more of a. It's not the physical side. It's more of an anatomy sort of thing because obviously males tend to be a lot taller. For example, for the Royal Rumble, it's a lot easier for a men's Royal Rumble to make it look realistic. If that makes sense. Well, obviously, a bloke could just topple over the top rope.
That was much better explaining. Well done, mate.
Yes. Whereas, obviously, because women tend to be a lot shorter, they have to jump to get over that top rope, which doesn't look realistic at all. So that's what I mean. Anyway, I wasn't trying to be, sexist.
No, we know you weren't. You just.
I know you weren't, mate.
You sort of had to.
It was just we had to.
Yeah,
people might take it the wrong way, as you've experienced.
Yes, we'll go into that. But yeah, we'll move on. Yes. Yeah, I've also kind of got another subject which potentially could be a sexist sort of thing. And for once, Xander, you could join in on this one.
No comment.
What are you trying to imply that Xander's
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Female? That's rude. That's harsh.
No. It's because Xander obviously doesn't follow wrestling. That whole conversation was about wrestling. This isn't. So, for example, at the minute, darts and F1, or rather the FIA, have now decided that pit girls are bye-bye. They're not doing them anymore. Obviously, darts are not having on the walk-on girls anymore. Obviously, when the darts players come onto the stage, you have usually girls that accompany them. Now, what are your thoughts on this? I want to start with Xander because obviously you and myself, and Alan, are massive F1 fans, and obviously from the day when we started watching, there's always been grid girls. So, Xander, what are your thoughts on this?
There's going to be more hookers instead.
Oh, fuck.
You know the whole sexist comment you said.
Yeah, you just pissed all over that, mate.
But I'm okay for
that's
being
just
sexist. I don't get my
just
feelings
basically
hurt.
kicking them down and fucking shitting on their
mate.
chest. That's like, fuck you. Have some of that.
that's okay.
I would be nice to you, but I'm not anymore. There.
Alan, you have to pay extra for that.
I know.
Essentially, it is robbing young lassies of a very, very high-profile job where they're getting in front of millions of people, whether they want to be models or, whatever. You are then saying, no, you can't do that. It's sexist. Yet, okay, why is there female models then? Isn't that sexist?
There's also male models as well.
Oh, yeah, but that's sexist, but it doesn't really matter because it's against men.
This is kind of what you also got to realise as well. Obviously, like you say, it's denying an avenue of revenue for these girls. Now, a lot of them are like, a lot of the arguments are it's sexualising women. It's it's not taking advantage. It's sexualising women. If you look at a lot of the outfits that these women wear, would you say that they're exactly objectified, sexualised sort of things? Or is it just like a uniform that they just literally have to wear for that event? There's not a lot of them are that obviously revealing anymore.
It's a uniform, but what they would probably be looking at it for that is it's awful tight-fitting clothing. But then again, you go to any pub these days, and there's bound to be 20 or 30 skags dressed in miniskirts. They're that don't fit them because they're like a size 20. Fucking low-cut tops with everything hanging out, fat and armpit hair, you name it. I'm sorry.
Hell.
Well, I go to certain bars and there are women. There are women who are,
When you say certain bars, do you mean strip clubs? It's all right. We're here for you.
I have not even got a strip club in South. Well, I'm pretty sure I do, but I never go in it. But there's bars that I go into, and there's bars I go into, and there's very lovely looking ladies behind the bar, and if they're okay with wearing next to nothing at all, I'm not exactly going to complain about it.
Well, this is it. Another thing.
I'm not really meaning for people who are working, just people going out. The way that a lot of the lassies dress, yeah, they don't hate big lassies, fair enough, but the amount of the public that dresses like complete tarts, and then they're screaming at these lassies who are earning an income in a high-profile position just because they're standing with a fucking sign.
Yeah. What also people are not realising, it's their fucking choice. No one's made them do this. They've gone, sorry, go on, mate.
Nobody makes any of these lassies dress like
Exactly.
this. They dress like this because they want to.
Exactly, it's a career path that they've chosen to go down. They've won. Some of these girls have won the genetic lottery, and they've decided, you know what, I'm going to make my living that way. Why not? Let them have that choice. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. You know what? Another thing, for example, they're talking about, it's objectifying women. Okay, fair enough. Nicky Lauda said it perfectly. Why can't we have grid boys and grid girls? Why can't we have both?
And the real reason for that one is nobody wants to tune in to see a scantily clad boy unless they're either a gay or a female. Because, I'm sorry, mate. I'm not one for looking at scantily clad lads. Are you?
I watch wrestling.
that is people who are essentially acting, and they have developed their body to that degree. Yeah, we're talking about, what was that advert, mind, where the boy's he's following his dream. Remember, isn't it a pot noodle advert? And all he wants to do is walk around the wrestling ring or a boxing ring with a sign.
Yes.
Now, this is the kind of lads that would apply to that job. Not people with physiques like wrestlers.
Yeah, fair point. But like I say, if people are complaining about the fact that obviously it's it's genderfied, it's objectified. You know, they're objectifying a gender. Put both genders out there. If people really still don't want to complain, then there really shouldn't be a place to complain about. Well, something to complain about. I mean, obviously, you could say, "Oh, you know, it's sexist against women." Well, if the men are there as well, you can't say that either. If you get what I mean.
End of the day, people just want to bitch about anything that's on telly.
It's getting that way. It is. I mean,
The problem is with today's society, you're always going to find a hater, even if it's the most menial thing ever. So, take an instance, soap operas. No one likes it because it's too mainstream, or it makes no sense, or anything like that, or it's bad storylines. You go to something like Game of Thrones. Well, I don't want to watch that because it's pornographic and it's violent. It's everyone and everything will have either someone who absolutely detests it and go out the way to prove it's wrong, or you got people who hate it, don't say anything about it, or you got people who like it, don't say anything about it, or you're going to have people who like it so much, all they ever do is share, show off, talk about it, speak about it. It's life at the moment. Everyone's got an opinion.
This is it. What do you think?
And Facebook and Twitter are for the worst.
Exactly. It's like I'm currently watching Star Trek Discovery, and all the groups I'm a part of that's affiliated with Star Trek Discovery, we have what we call the 3-day ban. No one is allowed to comment anything about the show for 3 days, and then comment all you want. And then you still get people kicking off going, well, I've not seen the show yet, that's unfair. And he goes, well, you've had 3 days to watch it. Shut up or put up with it. Simple as.
To be fair,
Alan. Sorry, Lewis. On you go.
To be fair, Alan, I've not seen the last episode, so, hush on spoilers.
Exactly. I don't speak about it. I'll speak about it all once the season's ended.
See, Alan knows, because I've said this before, especially to Paul, I don't watch things until the whole season's out, and then I'll binge watch the entire season. You know, so
you're in for a treat. I kind of wish I did that, to be honest.
But
I'll probably end up doing it again.
I would not join one of these groups where there may be spoilers in it anyway. So these people that are joining the groups, they've only got themselves to blame.
True. Yeah. It's like when you're trying to avoid spoilers for Monday Night Raw and you're on a wrestling group. It's not going to fucking happen. You know, you have to either stay away from social media or just don't join these groups. It's as simple as that.
Or do what people do now, we'll put a mute on the group until after they've seen the show. And then they'll go on the group after.
Who's that?
I don't care. I just let it go through because I'm a sad twat who'll watch it 1 minute past midnight. Watch it, literally. So I got it out of the way and done with. But I won't talk about it. I don't sit there and bitch about such and such characters and such thing from the last episode because it spoils everyone else's fun, and it's not fair for the people who are at work. So say like people who work on Mondays. I'm not one of them because I'm awesome and I'm clever. You always about 7:00 at night. You always get the same lot of people complaining because people have talked about it. But I've been at work, and it's like, well, it's your own fault, really. Don't come on Facebook if you know. It's just it's infuriating, but at the same time, it does entice with the whole hate about everything. People who were what's what I'm looking for? Not politically correct, but trying to up our standards. Yeah. Prime example, there was a TV show. What was it called? So like back in the 70s or something like that. And they will look back on TV from the 70s, from the 60s, 70s, 80s.
It was all right in the 70s or something like that.
Yeah, and you'll get people on there that have gone, we really did that? Did we really say that? Are we that inclined to do that now? It was like ripping into homophobia, racial comments, stuff like that. The racial comments being the biggest one. Is it Rise and Damp?
Yes, that was one of them. I do remember that, yeah. I think I've seen the same programme.
Yeah, but the black guy. And they're saying, like, yeah, what's his name? The main character is ripping into him because he's black. And it's like, you can't do that now. You cannot do that now. That's impossible. And stuff like...
Sorry, mate. This links into the pit girl conversation as well, because...
It does.
It's a relic of the cigarette advertising days. I mean, back in the 70s, it was sexy and cool to start smoking and things like that. So what they used to do was attach, obviously, your stereotypical sexy sort of ladies to the product. And it's basically carried on right through the cigarette advertising days in Formula One. Even carried on after the cigarette advertising was banned. And it's just one of them things that stuck around. And
it's the same as darts. It's like everyone affiliates drinking with darts. Drinking was actually banned from darts from the early 90s. And everyone's had the stigma saying, they come up there, they have a few beers, they get fucking Larry, they throw a couple of darts, one guy wins, they all go off and get pissed. No. This is, what's his name? Bobby Dazzler. Is it Bobby Dazzler?
Bobby George.
Bobby George, a relic from the bygone age. And he was saying, yes, we used to get absolutely fucking tanked up, throw darts, go out in the piss, hook up with a couple of girls, come back in again at 12 o'clock, throw some more darts, go and get hammered again. The World Darts Championships would be one big piss up, but it was dropped in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And everyone now, it still has that stigma. You go and get hammered at darts. You see the audience. No, you see the audience. You see the audience at World Darts. Blackpool's been one of the biggest places for it at the Winter Gardens. And everyone goes, it's a great laugh at darts. Why? We get smashed and watch darts. And he goes, but that defies the thing of going to watch a sport. You're just there to get tanked up. He went, well, yeah, that too, but no, you're there to get tanked up. Whereas you're not watching the sport. So you go to a rugby match. Yeah, they have a couple of beers and it's a right laugh, but they're there to watch the sport.
I wish I had more than a few beers today.
I'm sorry. If you didn't know, the Six Nations started this afternoon. It was Wales v Scotland. To be honest, I thought Scotland were in for a chance the first 3 minutes, and then they got steamrolled.
Yeah. They played terrible, but as I was saying to Paul before we started, the refereeing on it.
Oh, it was dreadful.
You want to talk about refereeing? When we get onto American football later, I've got grinds to gears on fucking refereeing.
Especially for tomorrow.
I really do, wonder who these people are that moan at these young lassies. Why? Because they look the way they do. So it's ladies or guys that are not happy with their body. So they want to direct their hate to these young lassies and want them off the tellies. Or
feminists.
Yeah, you get them that say, it's not befitting what females look like, so it's making little girls have a bad outlook on life because they don't look like this. Why is that just directed at pit girls?
It annoys me because if you go over to America, cheerleading's a massive thing. NFL, NHL, NBA, all of them have cheerleaders. Or hell, even the golf has cheerleaders. But they're in scanty little outfits. But it seems to be a national sport over there, cheerleading. It's a big thing. What they're going to do, go over there and say, you're not allowed to cheerlead anymore.
This is it. It's going to get crazy one day. They're going to actually go for something which is sort of followed by quite a few people. Like, for example, your cheerleading. And cheerleading is actually
I can see
sport.
Boxing. I can see boxing getting hit next.
See, things with boxing that annoy me, that isn't one of them.
No, because it's simple. You always have a card girl.
Yeah.
Walks around with a card saying round 1, round 2, right? Sometimes you get a bloke doing it, generally because they can't find a fit enough girl to do it. But, yes, you get the odd wolf whistles. But if you actually look at the audience, I'd say a good 45% of the audience are women. And no one's kicked up a fuss about it. So why are they kicking up a fuss about grid girls?
Because it's easy. Because it's easy, and Bernie's now not in charge. Because Bernie's old school, he just would have, either turned a blind eye or just tell them to fuck off.
It's also an easy target, though.
Isn't his daughter that's in charge?
No, it's Liberty Media.
His daughter's got some hand in it, hasn't she? So sure she has. Because I was thinking about the whole
He's still a shareholder. That's the thing. He's still a shareholder of F1, and his daughter's a shareholder. But Liberty Media control the controlling shares, so they run F1.
And I'm not against it or anything like that, but I can see within the next 10 years there'll be a female Formula 1 racer.
See, the thing is, yeah, there should be more than one.
Oh yeah, as I can think literally with a handful of people think straight away that would actually suit being a Formula 1 driver, rather than being the girl from Grand Tour.
That's what I was waiting to say. She won the GT3 championship. I forget her name.
I can't keep forgetting it. That's
Thank
it.
you.
No. It's not Schmidt. It's not Schmidt. But
no, it's not Sabine Schmidt. No, it's a young English lassie. She was essentially brought up around Silverstone.
Yeah, she was literally. There's a bit of if you go on the Grand Tour webpage, was it their Drive Train or Drive Tribe or whatever it's called?
Drive Tribe.
Yeah, and that she got a bit on there explaining who she is and all that. She was like number 4 in World Tourers, wasn't she, or something like that, or something similar. And she's a damn good driver. It was just like last episode. Last
year they won the GT3 championship. So to do that, you have to be fast.
Yeah, and able to withstand the requirements for being a driver. Because you got to think of it, being a GT3 driver, you're in the car for like 2-3 hours at a part,
at least.
Same again with Formula 1. So I don't see why there shouldn't be a Formula 1, female driver in there. But I can see it being pushed now. They've taken the grid girls off. They want to influence more women into the actual sport. Yeah, I'll give it within 10 years. You're going to see a female Formula 1 driver.
I'll give it less than that.
Well, the thing is, Susie Wolff was fast enough. But she kept getting passed up because she didn't have any money for Williams to put her in a seat. Mm-hmm. And then there was that lassie. Then there was that lassie. I forget her name as well. Mind the one that was. It was Virgin. What did they become? Marussia.
Oh, is it the lassie that lost her eye and ended up dying?
Yeah.
Oh,
she was fast enough for F1, but again, she didn't have the money.
It's not about money. The problem is it's not about. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the sponsor. You cannot get a sponsor.
Which is money.
You cannot drive an F1.
Which is money.
It's money. F1 is controlled by money. There's very little pure raw talent that comes through.
That's why I love like GT series.
Yeah, if you want to see pure raw talent, you watch the American Le Mans series, IMSA, it's called now, or you watch the GT World Championships.
I've got to
do have to move the ITV2, ITV3 for the BTCC challenges, and watching the what's it cup called with the kids?
Ginetta.
Yeah. Ginetta, and it was something like they've got three females driving, and they keep owning everyone.
Yeah.
They're absolutely brilliant.
There's a Formula Arbath and Formula Fords as well, and little Formula Renaults. Again, lassies are all in them.
This is it. I mean, talent isn't gender specific.
God no. When it comes to racing, bear with 1 second. I'm just going to answer this phone call.
Oh, but yeah. Coxie, hello.
Hello.
Have you any input on this conversation?
You saw on the women on
sort of thing. I was like, really, it was started off with a pit girl sort of thing, but it's sort of gone into like a gender sort of conversation.
We can put it even better. How would you feel if all the lassies in wrestling would tell you had to wear this? You couldn't wear anything skimpy, which is better for them for maneuverability. There's no denying that. But they had to wear great big baggy, jeans and a t-shirt.
Is that aimed at Coxie?
Yeah, that's the same kind of sexualization that they're doing.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's not as important in wrestling, I don't think.
And it should be more about your talent than your tits and your arse or whatever.
Exactly. It's a little bit different in like the pit girl sort of thing, because literally all they do is stand there and hold a sign. Whereas obviously in wrestling, if you're talented, you're going to get higher up in the card.
Yeah, but there's lasses that were in wrestling before, especially when, I watched it years ago that did fuck all.
Yeah, that's a different era though. So, nowadays it's all basically the legitimising female talent, like they should.
That's you call me old again.
We are
Should
old,
be
man.
done 10, 15 years ago.
But yeah, I don't know I don't know how we're going to conclude that conversation. Let's just leave it open-ended, shall we? Because I don't think we're going to get an answer to that one.
Happy days.
Happy days. And I think on that note, we're going to go for a quick break, so heading up to 55 minutes. But first, I'm going to announce that I have a taste test, which I'm going to prepare in the break.
You're going to jizz in the cup and try your own cup, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
There's a first time for everything.
Yes, it's a way of checking. Yeah, I've managed
If
for
it's
what?
a taste of anything, it'll just be water for you, won't it? 'Cause you have no balls.
Yeah, it's just like a soda stream.
Dr. Dick Finger strikes again.
Yes, Dr. Dickfinger. But yeah, I talked about it a while ago. I saw it at Home Bargains. It was like a pot, like an instant mash in a pot. Now, I know Pot Noodle brought one out years ago. They're talking like 20 years ago or so, didn't they?
Yeah.
Pot mash. Now, I was just wandering around my local Home Bargains, as I do, and I came across a mash pot, which is like a small sort of pot, and it's made by a company called Yeoman. Now, apparently, according to the provider of nasty foods, my mother, she said that Yeoman used to be a massive firm back in like the 60s and the 70s for things like instant mash and things like that. So what I've managed to pick myself up is obviously a mash pot of onion flavour instant mash. So I'm going to give this a try and see if it's any good, basically. It just looks pretty fucking evil.
So is it one of those that if you add cheese to it, it'll probably make it better?
Possibly.
You're fucked.
I am fucked, yes. So yeah, on the break, I'm going to prepare this. Apparently made from real potatoes and suitable for vegetarians. So yeah, I'm going to give this a whirl and see how it is. So on that note, I'm going to go off. I'm going to prepare this. I'm going to leave you these messages. Back in a few.
Run, Forrest!
Hey, this is Coxie, reminding you to check out the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, interviews, listener topics, our own topics. We even take a general look at life and the world around us. So I'll find the Lost Art Podcasting on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, even YouTube, and all of the good podcast places.
Hello, this is for...
Can't we say hello at the same time?
Fuck's sake. Hello! This is an advertisement for Master Debaters.
Oh, can we say Master Debaters together as well? Yeah?
Hello! I am Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer.
And we are the Master Debaters.
Oh, we are the Master Debaters. That's what we want to do.
We're all saying it.
Yeah.
Hello! I'm Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer. And
we are the
Damn it,
Master
Sean!
Debaters.
I thought we were just doing...
Hello! I'm Michael.
I'm Sean. I'm Toffer.
We are...
The Master Debaters. You can find us on Twitter @_Master Debaters, SoundCloud, Podbean, and iTunes. Just do yourself a favour and jump aboard this podcast train. Choo choo, motherfucker!
It's a mum.
Hello, Mum.
And a daughter.
Hello, Stacey.
Just telling it like they think they oughta.
I'd love to meet a pirate.
Rough giraffe. Rough giraffe.
Melodic sound of the flute.
They'll make you pee your pants when you laugh.
Wet and maggoty.
Funny chat.
Comedy bronze.
Sketchy facts.
Dog monk.
And advice from a very wonky cat.
Kipper.
Rough giraffe.
Sometimes sober.
Rough giraffe.
Cheese maggots.
On Podbean and Apple Podcasts.
It's not like they don't know what they're getting.
If you like hilarious chat and poorly researched facts, then Rough Giraffe is for you. You can follow us on Twitter @RoughGiraffePod or find us on Facebook. You can download and subscribe to the show on your favourite podcatcher.
you for listening to the RAD podcast. If you really enjoy this podcast, please consider supporting us by going to the RAD Live Facebook page at www.facebook.com/UK RAD Live. You can also find us on Twitter. Our handle is at UK RAD Podcast. You can find this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and many other good podcast apps and websites. And while you're supporting us, consider supporting our friends at the Lost Art of Podcasting. You can find them also on Facebook by going to the www.facebook.com/Lost Art of Podcasting. They are also on Twitter and have a handle at Lost Art Podcast. They are also on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and many other good podcast apps. Same also for his spin-off show, The Lost Art of Wrestling. They are also on Facebook at Lost Art Podcast, and also on Twitter with their handle at LAOW Podcast. Friends of the show, These People Podcast, great little show. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. You can find them at Facebook at www.facebook.com/These People Podcast. They are also on Twitter at TPPod. They also have a website at www.thesepeoplepodcast.com, and you can find them on Spreaker, iTunes, and many other good apps. Also, while you're at it, Casa Mirth Podcast. Cracking show if you don't mind a little bit more of the risque side of things. They are also have a website of their own as well at www.casamirth.com. They are on Twitter at Casamirth, and also find them on Facebook. They are also available on iTunes, Stitcher, and all other good pod sort of apps out there. And Mooch TV, friends of the show as well. They are on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Mooch TV. But you can also find them on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Mooch TV. And if you're ever in Blackpool, in the season might add, because it's now closed, you can go to Reflex, the only bar in Blackpool that has 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and noughties music, also accompanied with great food upstairs in the family bar. So if you're in Blackpool and you enjoy, great food, great music and a great time, why don't you consider checking out the Reflex at the Foxhole. Now it's back to the RAD Live podcast.
Series.
And we are back. Sorry to interrupt you there, guys.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Bastard.
Oh, God.
Bastard.
But yeah, I'm back. I've prepared my pot mash, and it actually looks quite nice. Is it weird that I'm slightly disappointed in that? But
the proof is in the pudding, my friend.
Well, this is it.
You know what you need to do now? Is go and get the cheese and go and get the barbecue sauce.
It
has to be done. It has to be done.
I wish I liked cheese. I'll be honest with you, mate. It still annoys me that I don't like cheese. Really annoys me. I mean,
You are let down for all the male species of the humans.
I will.
That and the fact that I had stuff made for the rumble. Half had cheese into Paul's like I can only eat the chicken stuff.
Yeah. Fucking no. It all looked dead good as well. Pizzas and fucking chili habanero, fucking whatever they were, cheese bites. They looked fucking amazing. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't like cheese. And you just see these. You just see Bunkle and Coxie partying with these cheese things, and I'm just there with these like chicken things.
Is that a euphemism? I like you, man. Cheese.
Nothing wrong with cheese every now and then.
Yeah. Oh god. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a try. Got a teaspoonful.
All in one. All in one.
You want me to eat the whole pot in one?
Do it.
Not happening.
Sport.
Well, it's red hot.
You've let the podcasting community down.
How? I wasn't the one that chickened out of a chili.
All right, Daz, calm down.
Anyway, here we go. Right, okay. Very, very, very oniony. Yeah.
It'll be onion powder.
Patties.
Oh. Very, very salty. Alan, have you been near this?
He has been putting his cum in it.
Yeah. Yeesh.
You stirred it with an old crusty
bastard.
sock, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I put it around the spoon and stirred it in. Add to the flavour. Yeah, that's not fun. Sorry, Yeoman. It's not that unpleasant, but it's just not for me. I imagine one of you lot might actually enjoy that. Yeah, not for me.
Paul, we have got some level of standards.
Yeah, it's me that's got to eat the shit.
Well, I don't know. Did you see? People who don't know, we have a Facebook group chat where we discuss about plots and whatnots for the podcast and everything. And Coxie and Paul challenged our very own Daz the Airman, Truby, to try a century egg.
Absolutely.
Now, if you don't know what a century egg is, it's an egg that's been... what's the best way of describing it?
Fermented.
Fermented, yeah, that'll be the word for strangely enough, 100 years. And apparently it's a delicacy in some places.
China.
And apparently it can bring on serious hallucinations and everything and all that jazz. So I'd love to find out where we can get one from. I don't think I already
have a place on the internet bookmarked. To buy one. You can get one imported and actually all in for £10. So
£10 for literally a fucked up egg.
Pretty much.
I can leave one in the fridge for 20 years and got almost there.
Here's a question: how do you know that it's actually 100 years old?
Well, it's not 100 years old. It's just a name for it.
The original purpose of the whole century egg, it's supposed to ferment for 100 years, but there is ways to speed it up for where you can leave it in the fridge for something like 8 months with additives and all that, which will speed up the fermentation process.
Pretty much.
Cool. So are you adding chili powder for him?
Good idea.
That your evil halibut.
Note to self.
Don't piss off Sander.
Actually,
Paul challenges Daz, and then Daz chimes in with, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't have an egg."
I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Good, you'll be needing to go to one.
He busted out doing chili, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll do something else instead." And then Paul's like, "We need to do something disgusting." So, all right, you can do a century egg. No, I'm not doing that. I'm retiring from live episodes. And then all of a sudden, I was only joking. You still do a century egg. Oh, I can't have egg.
Why can't he have egg?
Allergy or something.
He's just a little bitch.
And bullshit, you can't have egg.
But you know what? To the point, I've even said to him, I will try some, and I don't even like egg.
I've seen him sat down on our pre-show breakfasts, going to PC Dub, eating a fry-up. So he shot himself in the foot there.
Right, Darren, you're having a century egg, mate.
And not only that, if next time he starts posting up, he's eating a pizza or he's eating some form of cakiness, you can put that down, it's got egg in it.
Yep. Do you know what I'm going to do in future? Every time he puts something like that, I'm just going to post my screenshot of the century egg.
With chili.
Possibly. Possibly. Just have that screenshot, just haunt him for a while.
Or what we should do is get every form of device connected to the internet, somehow hack into it, and just add it as his background picture for everything.
It's his desktop wallpaper, his mobile wallpaper.
Go out on the pistol and get absolutely fucking hammered and say, right, we'll come back to your house to get a few more drinks, and then just hack everything, just posting this picture on to be ace. Go to the show. Or what we could do is even more, bit hardcore this, but it'll be funny. Go and get out printouts that'll fit his windows and just post them all around his house. just this egg. It'd be brilliant.
It's got to be done. So we're going to do a vote now, seeing as Darren's not here. Obviously, there's 5 of us, so we can get a definite answer on this. At the next podcast, is Darren trying a century egg? I'll vote first.
Yeah.
Yes. Coxie?
Yes.
Yeah, he should.
Xander?
Yes. With chili.
Lewis?
Yes.
Alan?
Oh, I don't know about this. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you guys have an Aldi's down near you?
Yeah.
Right. Have you tried the Scotch bonnet sauce that they've got?
Yep.
The yellow one.
Yep.
I haven't.
You should give them that. You should give them that and tell them it's sour cream to dip the egg in.
The problem is, he doesn't trust me.
I'll trust Paul.
You trust me?
Try that. What is it? I'm not telling you. Just try it. Oh, I don't want to. Bastard.
Just imagine you say this is Natalie fucking Cassidy.
Yeah.
I don't want to try it.
I offered some of it to my brother-in-law, and he says, "Oh, is it really spicy?" I was like, "No." and I just put it on one of those giant cooking tablespoons, and I just poured it right in that. And says, "Here, just put it in. It's fine. You'll really like it."
You bastard.
Yeah, so here you are then. Paul said, okay, century egg coming for the next show, well, podcast. Paul posted the link saying, by the way, and I found this link that posts them. Nope, Paul, only eggs I eat are chocolate. Paul, you can't get and usually you pass, otherwise you try now and that's shite for radio. Do you a deal?
Oh, I've got an idea.
He said, hold on, do your deal, you try it now, I'll give it a try too. And then Darren said, well, as long as you don't mind me being sick everywhere, I can't eat eggs, got an intolerance to them.
Yeah, you know what we could do?
Film it.
You know how he keeps going about these cream eggs? Pudding things he likes. Well, if I create a shell out of chocolate, cut a top off from the of the century egg, and have a cream egg filling in the centre. And it just go right. So as a challenge, you've got to put all that in one mouth and just chew it as fast as you can, and just watch his face drop when he's got it all in his gob. Then he realises what it is. Oh, that'd be amazing. Oh yes. Do you reckon I can get away with that?
Yes.
No.
Or that be being cruel?
I think that might be a bit mean.
No, it wouldn't. It would be brilliant.
Okay, let's put it this way.
I can see Xander coming down for the week for that. So I'm coming to Blackpool. Why? And he's like, so when Darren's going, why is Xander coming down? Well,
I wouldn't actually
just
put that
to
past
say hi.
Xander to drive down for it.
That'd be one hell of a funny week.
Paul, stop ruining our fun.
I've got to do it. It's going to happen. Have you heard it here, folks? That's my challenge, is trying to get the right... I'm going to have to do a couple of hard-boiled egg trials, get the consistency right with the chocolate and everything, and see if I can get it so it's like opens it up, takes the first couple of scoops, and it's like normal, and you just chucks it all in one go. Oh, yes, it's going to happen. I'm doing it. That's it. Decided.
And for the record, I am not going to be compliant in the assault of
you are.
Alan Morrison when Darren finds this out.
Assault? It's not going to hit me. If he tries and hit me, he'll be like, I'm going to punch you. And he'd be like, just this fly landing on my face. That's it. That's all it's going to be. Is that it, Darren? Okay.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, century egg is being bought. What we do with it, I don't know. We shall see.
Make an omelette out of it.
You sick fucker.
You hate to ask yourself, why won't he try it?
Exactly. That's my logic. If it's something random that is completely out of everyone's comfort zone, myself or Paul will be the first people to go, shit, I'll try it.
Yeah. What is the harm? It's not going to kill him.
No, it just might make you vom. It might, you know.
You might get the shits for a few days, but
well, at least one thing, if he does it, right, his inside's going to be all nice and clean.
Coxie, will you try it?
A century egg?
Yes.
I I'd have to see you and I'll try it first, just to see your reaction.
Alan, will you try it?
It's a stupid question. Of course I fucking would.
Right, so there we go. It's getting done. I don't even
Try
like egg, and I'm willing to give it a go.
I'd try anything once.
Yeah, exactly. Once you tried it, haven't you? End of the day.
Yeah, I always say I'll eat anything. It doesn't really matter. Dog, cat, person. It doesn't really bother me.
Meat's meat.
Yeah, I'll give anything a go.
What can't hurt you.
Exactly. Anyway, keeping on the food subject, it's something I would have brought up, and I'm kind of glad that Xander's here for it.
Oh, God.
You ready for this?
Dum dum dum.
Dum dum dum. Right. The shenanigans of Iron Brew.
Oh.
Has everyone heard about it?
Yes,
No.
they changed the subject. Oh, the recipe, or have changed the recipe already.
They've not changed the recipe as such. What they've done is basically they've stopped making the full fat version and only doing the sugar-free.
Okay.
Now, the fact of the matter is, when they say sugar-free, then they ram a heap of sweeteners in it all.
Yeah, the problem is it's basically the get my tongue back in. I was on the One Show a couple of weeks back, and they were going on saying basically what they've done is they've changed it slightly, so it's like no sugar with a couple of sweeteners in, and like there's this big massive petition going around, and it's soon got like 750,000 like signatures saying don't mess with the recipe, but it is law now that you only allow a certain amount of sugar in any form of soft drinks and fizzy drinks. So Iron Brew Company Bar is actually complying to the law, and they're doing this. I can fully see it. The reason is I brought this up because I've got a bottle of full fat Iron Brew next to me, and it was just like going, can you think of anything in the past where they've played around with something and you've stopped eating it or drinking it, and you've gone like, well, you kind of wish they didn't fart arse around with?
Coke Life.
Yeah.
Coke Life. I've never tried it, so I couldn't. I've seen it advertised and all that, and I've gone, yeah, no.
See, the only fizzy drink that I drink is Tango, and I've tried the Tango Zero or something, the one without sugar. But
Yeah.
you can taste the sweeteners in it, and it's fucking minging.
Yeah, because the natural sugars they use, they're not allowed in it.
But that's the thing with Tango, though. It's just orange.
Yeah.
So
It's like,
it-
you're the prime
norm-
example of this one. Do you remember Tizer back in the late 90s?
Yeah.
And I picked up a can not so long ago because I thought, fuck yeah, I remember this stuff was amazing. Took 3 mouthfuls of it and then just like, and just poured it down the sink. Because they played around with the recipe.
You just reminded me of one, Twist and Squeeze.
Dear God, that's
Yes.
going back a few years.
Yes, but he's right. He's fucking right.
Twist-
I've actually, the kids had some from home. We got some from home because they know added sugar, aren't they? So we got them, tried it. I thought, there was one left over. You know what? I used to drink these, and then we used to use them as footballs on the playground. If you remember that, yeah. So
Yeah.
I remember these bad boys. I used to have them when I was a kid. So what are they like now? I tried it. I was like, they're not the same. And not even in a good way. They're
Exactly. But there was another program I watched. It was like called Inside the Factory on BBC Two, and it's got that bloke guy from MasterChef, the grocer, the big bold one with the glasses.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they were discussing like the evolution of food. Of like food that we had, say, 10, 15 years ago to the food now. And for a prime example, we've got 2 boxes of Kellogg's cornflakes. One was from the 90s and one was from now. And it's just, right, try them. Try the ones from now. Oh, yeah. This tastes like cornflakes. It's how I don't remember it. Okay, now try the other ones. So he, of course, he goes, wow, apparently the salt content was ridiculous. So she was saying it's just like eating a bag of salt. So subtly, Kellogg's have reduced the salt content over the last decade to what we used to what so we don't detect it. But if you go back to eating what you had then, now you would detect it. It's like going, wow, that tastes really, really salty. So it could go the same way with Iron Brew. It could be a case of, here's your Iron Brew. Yeah, all right, okay. 10 years, here's your Iron Brew from from 10 years ago. Here's your Iron Brew from now. And they're like, oh, I don't like the old Iron Brew, but I prefer this one. So it's 6 and 2 3s, really, if you think about it.
I don't know if I can trust these things. Sorry, mate. I don't know if I could trust these things, like with the Kellogg's. There's no way that was a 10-year-old box of cornflakes for a start. So they had to remake them from an old recipe.
Probably.
So who's saying they just didn't fuck around and added more salt just to, prove that point? I mean, it's Lloyd Grossman after all.
And not only that as well, like you said yourself, it was a gradual change, so not many people would have noticed a difference. With the case of Iron Brew, it's a sudden change. They've all of a sudden just stopped making the original recipe and they brought out this new one with less sugar in. It's a sudden change. It's not a gradual one where they're just like to say, right, we've got like 10 grams of sugar in it, we're going to reduce it to 8, and then next year we're going to reduce it to 6. And it's slowly, so people don't really notice it and get used to it. This is a sudden stop. So
Iron Brew's not that big down there.
Iron Brew's huge in Blackpool.
Yeah, it's massive. It's big.
Yeah.
Have a Scottish green.
Well, here's the question then. Only 500,000 people have complained. Yeah? Well, that Blackpool and Glasgow. Nobody else gives a fuck.
No, but at the same time, you are changing something that's not changed at all in 100-odd years since the original recipe.
And if you notice as well, recipe changes don't tend to go down too well. Look, remember, was it the 80s or early 90s when Coca-Cola changed the recipe and called it New Coke?
Yeah, and everyone, what the fuck is this?
They put it back to the old recipe.
Well, it's maybe good that Iron Brew's changed, because it is made from bars, and I do remember seeing it getting stuck in a steamroller.
Made from iron girders.
Iron girders. But no, it's just one of those things. It's just like, how many times has a company changed a recipe and you've not noticed, and they've gone, right, we've done our job, then 10, 15 years later you get handed an old something and goes, right, try that, now try this, and it's like, ugh.
What would you say was the most successful recipe change that's ever happened?
Oh, that's a good shout.
I would arguably say Pepsi Max.
No, because that wasn't a recipe change. They just basically did a massive marketing campaign. Says, new Pepsi Max.
Yeah, but
it tastes like Pepsi, but with less sugar, and it tastes nothing like Pepsi, but it's just as good. I live off that stuff, Pepsi Max.
This is what I mean, though. It's still it's technically the same recipe, but without sugar, it's sweeteners. So it's the same but different.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a recipe change.
Probably tomato sauce.
Life.
Coke Life was garbage.
They brought out Diet Coke, which had the sweeteners in it, and that. And they brought out Coke Zero, and they were. People said, "Oh, we want one with like a natural sweetener in, like stevia." So yeah, okay, we'll do one. We're gonna call it Coke Life, and it tasted fucking awful.
Yeah, I remember that. It was fucking. They had no taste of it whatsoever, did it?
Nope.
Absolutely nothing. There were no Coke.
But saying that, if you go over to America and you try stuff, the American version, they tend to be a whole lot sweeter. Cause
proper sugar.
Because another thing about this inside the factory thing on BBC Two I've been watching, and it says the amount like big massive companies will make the same product but different variants for wherever it's going in the world, because that's what they like their taste. It's like another one they did was Heinz mayonnaise, not Hellmann's, Heinz mayonnaise. So they make 3 different variances. So you got one for the British palate, one for like a Western Europe palate, one for Eastern Europe palate, and one for the Scandinavians. And all of them are completely different in taste.
There's another part to that as well. UK mind is really super strict on what's allowed to go into food. Not so much with the US and Europe.
Yeah, because it was prime example. In the fridge at the moment, I've got a bottle of Mountain Dew. Now, if you drink that now in the UK, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that tastes nice. Go to America, it's 3 times sweeter, and it's 3 times more, what's their active...
caffeine.
caffeine, it's 3 times stronger.
There's also
over in
syrup
America.
in it, isn't there? That's banned in the UK.
Yeah.
In the UK, yeah, because we've got the dumbed down version. But at the same time, if you go over to America, you're not allowed Iron Brew in America. It's a banned substance.
Random.
Awesome.
Yeah, same as Canada.
Just like
also-
us English, we're just scared of the Scottish.
Yeah. Also, haggis, unless it's made in the US to their standards, anything from the UK or Scotland to be precise, it's banned because of certain ingredients.
I would never in a million years touch an American haggis.
Completely wrong. Fat House of the Wife. Stuff in America. You know, if like you say like bottle of Mountain Dew in the UK, completely different over in America, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my wife lived in America for a couple of years, so she knows the difference. Yeah, the same as Sunkiss and Fanta. Apparently, it's all different.
Yeah, but nobody drinks Fanta because it's Nazi bullshit.
Nazi bullshit.
Fucking hell.
It's true.
I have a friend.
The Nazis banned Coke, so that's why they have Fanta.
Wow, did not know that.
Yeah. And Nazi Germany wouldn't allow Coke in because it was seen as being too American. So they banned it and they developed Fanta.
Okay. Well, what they always say is it takes a war for something pretty cool to be invented.
Fucking hell.
Why would you have Fanta when you could have Tango?
Oh, see, I prefer Fanta over Tango.
Nazi.
No, I actually do prefer Fanta.
Well, he does have a cat which he calls Husker. So
it's called Husker, and it has a black nose that looks like a tash. So he is our mini little Hitler.
Fucking hell.
Love our Husker.
I'll tell you another recipe change that's not gone down too well recently. Is changing Lucozade.
Yeah, there was a massive kick-off about that, wasn't there? The orange Lucozade doesn't taste like orange Lucozade as it used to.
No, it doesn't taste so. Apparently, old bottles sell for a lot of money now.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot of money.
So if you've got any old bottles lying around, pee in it, seal it, and then sell it.
Yeah, pretty much.
They probably would never get open, but there you go. Your urine has been immortalised for the rest of its life.
Yeah,
someone cracks it. 10,000 years later, it's still sat in the corner. Someone goes, "Well, open this up and try it." Oh, it tastes like weed.
Oh wait, no, that's just how Lucozade tastes.
It must be one of these newfangled new ones with a new recipe instead, bastards. So, Lewis, is there anything you've thought that's been like a shit recipe change?
No, Lewis doesn't, because I'm fucking talking.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't want to say. My mate's missus is American, and she'll go to like Mr. Sims or whatever, and she'll buy the American Dr. Pepper because she tried the British one and she went, "It tastes in it." I was like, "What's that mean?" And she's like, "Well, I can taste the difference between the American one and the British one." I was like, "I can't." She went, "Yeah, well, I can. So, and this one doesn't taste as good as that one."
I do have to admit, when I go on Amazon, and occasionally do buy crates of Dr. Pepper Cherry.
See, I like Dr. Pepper. It just tastes of marzipan to me. So how does the American one taste?
Apparently it just tastes better because it's made with proper sugar rather than artificial sweeteners.
So it's just sweeter.
I believe so.
A sweeter taste isn't always better, though.
No.
Just
I mean, I don't take sugar in my tea or coffee.
Well, neither do I. But I'm just stubborn about that from my ex-girlfriend. So.
Yeah, but it's very common for Americans to have cream and 2 sugars.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I used to have 2 sugars in my tea and coffee. Now I literally have half a spoon in my tea and nothing in my coffee.
Yeah, but they actually have cream. They don't really have milk and
Yeah.
sugars.
No,
They have cream.
they're weird over there. It was like one of my American friends when I was at uni, and she's from Texas, and we were around. She goes, "Do you want a brew?" So, what's a brew? I want a cup of tea. He goes, "Oh, yeah, sure." So, of course, how many sugars do you take? How many do you recommend? And I went, 2, the average. He says, "Do you want milk?" And he goes, "You not got any cream?" And I went, "You don't have cream with your tea." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So she sat down, and that was it. She kind of got over fascinated with the whole cup of tea thing. She enjoyed it. She went over to America. Apparently, some places in America still sells like tea and everything, but it says it's not the same. It says it's too weak.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You can't. Sometimes you can't beat a proper builder's brew. Let's be honest.
See, a lot of teas these days are really, really crap. Have you noticed?
Thai
So, yeah, they're all crap. So these days, all we buy is, the Twinings like every day or the stuff like that. So you can actually have a decent cup of tea.
Can't have a Tetley. That's all you need for a decent brew. Tetley.
Nah, Tetley's got this horrible sharpness to it. It's just, nah.
PG tips.
You don't like PG tips because of the monkey.
See, we used to drink a lot of PG tips as well, but again, it's not as nice anymore.
See, I'm a Yorkshire tea or Lancashire tea man, so that's what I drink. If I do have tea, if I get to choose. But the missus chooses a tea, so we have to drink Thai food. So I don't drink tea.
But tell her she's wrong and tell her to buy Twinings.
Not all posh like you.
Twinings isn't expensive either. It's just roughly the same price as
I think
everything else.
Twinings is shit, if I'm brutally honest. It's
because you're wrong.
Twinings tends to be the shit tea you get when you stay at a hotel. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, because it's usually because it's usually Thai food, or for coffee it's Kenko.
Kenko's the standard when it comes to coffee.
No. If you're gonna have coffee, you're gonna have it proper. You go for Kenko, but you go for the Millicano stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna cheap out on coffee, you get Dow Egberts.
Yeah, I'll second that. If you're going for cheap option, you go on a budget. Dow Egberts is the way to go. If you've got the money to spend, you go towards somewhere like Law or something like that.
Or you just go to Starbucks and get one of their coffee packs they sell.
I'm not driving for 30 miles to get coffee.
You go B&M and get Mellow Birds.
Fuck off, Mellow Birds.
What was it? Was it Mountain?
Red Mountain.
No. With the stupid balloon advert in the 90s.
Red Mountain. It was shit.
Not Red Mountain. It was something else. Oh crap! I was going to stick back my head.
I'm telling you, it's Red fucking Mountain.
No, because it was the theme tune for from Local Hero. It wasn't Yellow Mellow. Oh, that's going to annoy me now.
There was a shit brand of coffee called Red Mountain.
Watch it be Red Mountain.
Sorry, Lewis.
Watch it be Red Mountain now. It's Red Mountain. I'm telling you, it's not Red Mountain. It is Red Mountain.
Maxwell House. That's what I meant.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll let you off.
Yeah, it's garbage now.
Yeah, that's gone downhill. I used to be really good coffee.
Yeah, Maxwell.
I remember being like 12, 13 years old, getting tanked up on coffee, and then going to school.
Yeah.
And be bounced off the walls for the first half of the lessons. Everyone's like, "What's up with you?" Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying that everything has to change because the government guidelines this, government guidelines that. It's infuriating.
Like, fix the fucking country first.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's sort out our NHS and our fucking roads before we worry about what we're sticking inside us.
Oh, the roads are terrible, but yet they've allowed that smoking thing to be legal. What's it called? The vaping stuff.
Yeah.
No idea what it can affect the body. Oh, that's
supposedly
legal.
It's worse than smoking. Apparently, like I've heard last year.
Well, there's no hard evidence. There's cases and people saying there is, and then other people say there isn't. So it's one of those on the it's on the the borderline of being bad and not bad and all that jazz, and it's stupid.
Yeah,
if in doubt,
gets
either
left a fucking loan.
yeah. But no, Scotland at the moment with their was it minimum taxing or something like that they called it?
What, for the tobacco
Alcohol.
and drink?
No, for the alcohol. Apparently, it's just,
minimum price.
you're not
there's a
minimum price
for alcohol.
Yeah, it's tobacco as well.
Well, they kept that one quiet.
The tobacco, because the missus smokes, and she buys tobacco. You see, tobacco for a pouch of tobacco 10 years ago, you were a tenner for a 50-gram packet. Now you're 25 quid.
Yep. That's the same down here. And they've also reduced the size of packs. Well, the smaller packs have gone.
Yeah,
you're not allowed tens.
You're not allowed all small
the
patches.
tax prices. Yeah,
no, all smalls have gone.
Yeah, to stop tax prices in fags going up, they reduced the number of fags in the 20 decks. It used to be, until recently, you used to only get 18 in a pack on certain brands. Now, the brands I smoke, they've basically got away with it because what they did was they've taken a segment out of the filters. So you got literally, you open up the pack and you pull one out. It's got a hole in the filter. So they've kept the prices relatively low compared to your other main brands, and but kept it to the 20, so they got the taxing out of it.
Okay.
So it was like jammy bastards.
Your minimum price for a drink thing, that should have come in years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
as someone that used to work in a corner shop, he used to get people coming in for Snyder all the time.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Well, just at New Year, I did a test because I bought some Baileys. So I got proper Baileys, but Tesco had their Irish cream, whatever it was, $3.50 for the same size bottle as the Baileys. So it's just like, fuck it, let's give it a try. It's the same strength, same everything. Tried them both back to back. Yeah, Baileys is creamier, but the other one has more of a whiskey taste to it. But it's fucking $3.50.
Yeah, and it's not that much different. Yeah, like you say, your Baileys is a little bit more creamier. But to the untrained taste bud, it's not that different.
That's it, 25 quid to $3.50.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane. So nobody should be able to, go out, buy that for $3.50 or buy fucking two of them and get pissed. Depends, how much a lightweight you are.
Half a bottle for me.
Lightweight.
You're lucky, about 2 sips and you're done.
Sniff the bottle. Saying that, I'm currently drinking, Coxie will approve of this, what's it called? That double oak and Coke at the minute, so... So I'm currently on my second one, so...
But no, it's like with the whole drinking thing, it's like now, at supermarkets with their wines. Now, everyone, you relate it to a supermarket with their supermarket brand alcohol. Oh, it's going to be shit. But actually now, their wine seems to be better than, like, the main brands that are out.
Some are better.
Yep.
I mean, I obviously, round it where I live, I'm closer to Lidl and Aldi than I am anything else. So obviously, they get frequented quite a bit. And their wines aren't bad. They're really not bad. I mean, the beer's great as well. I talked about it a while ago. I was like, no, I'm not drinking wife beater. But there's there's a 4-pack that they do for, I think it's like £3. And it's an exact copy of Stella. An exact copy. Strength, taste, a lot. And it's ridiculously cheap.
That's girly beer.
Yeah, it's maybe girly beer, but it's fucking cheap beer as well.
Yeah, but you could get decent actual beer. That's lager.
Yeah.
You want ale. You want proper stuff.
I don't like real ale. This actually upset me.
Oh, God.
We'll go to hark back now to the last podcast that we did, which was the Christmas special. Alan was there, Coxie was there, and I tried one of their craft lagers, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't enjoy it, if I'm brutally honest. It's not for me. I'm not saying it was a crap lager. It didn't agree with me. Now,
Do you like Guinness?
No.
Oh,
Can't beat decent stout.
Didn't they have they had a good one at the I can't remember what the fucking hell it's called now. The brew room. They did have a good one. Was it like what was it called? It was a Christmas theme one. Oh,
I had it.
yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
No.
But it was like a stout with like a fruit in it. Was it like blackcurrant or something?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
How much were you for a pint though?
$3.90.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Exactly. Now the whole
But you're
thing...
paying for the whole drink. You're paying for the drink, not the drink to get pissed. You know, someone's put the heart and love into making these ales. You're paying for that. You're not paying for the mass-produced shite that everyone else drinks.
Yeah, it's a craft pub.
You're about £5 for a house ale up here.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So no wonder people fucking run off to these shops and buy the cheap booze just so they can go get fucking wasted. And this is all that happens.
£3.80 is expensive.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. You know, this is why they're wanting to increase the minimum price of drink, because pubs up here take the piss because there's such a huge drink culture in Scotland.
Saying that, it's more spread than just Scotland. So Blackpool's a prime example.
Go on.
Well, you got to think, Blackpool is a prime example. I'm using that as an example. Everyone, people, 95% of people that come to Blackpool are either stag or hen dudes out to get smashed.
Yeah, that's true. That is
So,
true. I mean, obviously...
The people you know in Blackpool, does their whole week revolve around Saturday and Sunday and going out to the pub and getting pissed?
Yeah, no,
majority of my friends,
like
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not going out for a good time. Not going out just to meet your mates around. Just going out to get pissed.
Yeah. Well, you got to think as well, majority of my mates all work in the bar industry. So, people in Blackpool, if you're working in the bar industry, of course you can't go out on weekends because you work weekends. So they go out Monday or Tuesday. Monday is known as Monday Madness in Blackpool. So a majority of students and all your people who work behind the bars go out on the Raz. And you have your weeks, what we call weekday staff cover, the ones that cover throughout the week.
See, okay. when I worked at a nightclub, I never wanted to go out because I was fucking there.
Exactly. I've say 5-6 years ago, I was working in one of the biggest nightclubs in Blackpool, and we used to go out the piss straight after. It'll close at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 3 depending on what if we've got extended hours.
Bank holidays.
Bank holidays and stuff like that. Close within the hour, close everything down, get everything cleaned, and then we'll go and hit the gay bars, which are open until 6 in the morning, straight after work. Now, if to be brutally honest, I finish work and all I want to do is fucking go home because I'm sick and tired of seeing people. I rarely go out. I rarely go out.
I haven't been out to a pub since my stag do, and I've been married since 2009.
Fucking hell. See,
well, you know me.
I remember this. I remember this because I bumped into Xander not shortly. Well, you were engaged to your missus at the time, wasn't you? When I bumped into you.
Yep.
So I remember him going off. I was like, "Oh, got no Xander today. He's on his fucking honeymoon." On fours, I was like, "I haven't got the wingman." But
it's when I was working behind a bar. I was working through the week as well because I was an apprentice draftsman for a civil engineering firm. So I was working through the week and then working behind the bar at the weekends, and I didn't want to go out.
No,
I was just sick of it. But these days, a lot of the youngsters, they just don't want to do anything. So all they do out is go and get pissed.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in Blackpool, mate.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of that. I don't know what it's like in Southport, Lewis, but there's a hell of a lot up here.
Hell of a lot of what? Sorry.
Pissers just wanting to get pissed.
Yeah, but you see young'uns going out getting hammered.
I don't know. It's more sort of middle-aged around Southport, really, because Southport is OAP Central.
So what you're saying is you get the MILFs.
I
like
fucking
the
wish. MILFs, I fucking wish.
No, but it's the saying. Well, you work in Liverpool, so the mainstay of people who go out in Liverpool are all students.
Yeah.
I'd say we don't really have student culture in Blackpool. We tend to more have like a fucking yob culture in Blackpool. And at the minute, for some reason, it seems to be the in thing to do. And Coxie will test to this. The in thing to do at the minute is something called bus surfing.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I've seen that. So saw that on the Gazette the other day, actually.
I've seen it in person, mate.
Oh, I've seen people do it on trams.
Oh, they do it on the trams as well, but the most recent thing is they're doing it on buses now. Now, people that don't know, bus surfing is basically when people jump on the back of a bus and basically cling onto the engine cover at the back and see how far they can hold on. Without either them falling off or getting noticed.
Are they getting dragged or are they jumping on the bumper?
No, they're clinging on. They're clinging on. There's no bumper to hang on to. They're like sticking the fingers in the groove between the end.
And just hold on.
Yeah, they're just basically holding on any way they can. There's no actual bumper to stand on. It's like they're stood on like the lip where the number plate is and the top of the engine cover.
You see, the thing is, compared to the rest of the world, that's pretty weak. So you go to places like New York or over to India, people do it on top of the buses and the trains, the underground.
See, when you said surfing, I thought they were jumping on it.
That'd be interesting.
See, now what they should rename it is just bunch of knobs cling onto buses.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's been a massive stint on. It's like it's just like they had a report from Blackpool Transport. They're saying at least 30 drivers get submit an incident claim of this happening every day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's bad. It's bad where I live at the minute. I mean, I live near Rigby Road in Blackpool, and it's like intersects with Central Drive. In the past 2 weeks I've been going to work, I think there's only one time I've not seen someone jumping on the back of a bus.
So, is the bus drivers not brake checking them or anything, just for shits and giggles?
They should do. It'd be amazing if they suddenly just speed up and also just suddenly stop and bounce them into the car behind them.
Yeah, all you hear is bang!
Yeah.
Well, it's in the paper. The girl apparently, this was on Central Drive, fell off, twatted head on the floor, and she was unconscious. 2 cars had to swerve out the way to miss her, the way she landed.
Well, so that's pretty dumb then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very stupid fault, really.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we're coming towards the hour 45 mark, so I think we may as well start wrapping up, unless anyone else has something they want to talk about.
Oh, me.
Go.
You.
I was saving this for Lost Art, but I think by the time I do a Lost Art, it's going to be sort of blown away by then, or blown over. And it was just this article I read. It was on your favourite website, please, on Glad Bible, or even Unilad.
Sorry, mate.
It was on Unilad even, the other one.
Oh, lovely.
So, as I quote it here off my phone, a luxury hotel has banned all YouTubers and Instagram stars, he says with quote fingers, after a vlogger involved in an argument with the owner after asking for free accommodation.
Wow.
So, essentially, some beauty and lifestyle YouTuber who's got 87,000 subscribers on YouTube,
which is fuck all,
and 76,000 Instagram followers, emailed this hotel in Dublin asking if she'd want them, if they're interested in a collaboration in exchange for free accommodation.
And they kindly told her to get to fuck.
Pretty much, but she basically wrote to them in an email saying, I work as a social media influencer, mainly lifestyle, beauty and travel based. My partner and I are planning to come to Dublin for an early Valentine's Day weekend from the 8th to the 12th of February to explore the area. As I was searching for places to stay, I came across your stunning hotel and would love to feature in my YouTube videos, dedicated Instagram stories and posts to bring traffic to your hotel and recommend others to book up in return for free accommodation. Last year I worked with University of Orlando in Florida and it's been amazing for them.
Thing is,
what
if it was a truly big YouTuber like Mikey Chen, he does all the food stuff, goes and eats. Yeah, he eats these huge portions and all these buffets and all that. Someone like him has got like 10 million subscribers is coming over. But the thing is,
that's a star.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He is always saying, "Yeah, I bought my own room. I've paid my own way. I've done this myself." And if that kind of person isn't going to ask for that, someone with
it's
80,000,
one of the biggest. One of the biggest YouTube followers I watch, Ray William Johnson. He's hit the scale big time, and he's just done a stint over in Canada. And he walks into the hotel, and apparently 3 of the receptionists and the busboy of some description all went, "Holy shit, that's Ray William Johnson!" And it was like going, "Oh, yeah, I've booked a residence, here in da, da, da." And he goes, he was about to pay, and the general manager walked out and says, "No, I'll pay for it." And he goes, "No, it's his rule. It says I pay for everything myself. The only thing I probably may ask for free is a bar of soap or a towel." That's it. It says, but he did a Q&A not so long ago. He does it on Facebook Live quite a lot. And someone mentions, "Have you ever got anything for free because of your stature?" He goes, "I've been offered. I've refused." He says, hell, I've had, what was it, not Playboy, something similar to Playboy. In America, I can't remember what it's called. Says wanted to know if he could do a photo shoot with him and his missus, because his girlfriend's absolutely stunning, and he's going, "No," it's like, fuck off. But it was just like he was going on saying it's stupid. Once you've got yourself into a situation where the world media or the social media class you as being a celebrity, it's stupid. You get things sent to you. Do you want to endorse this by saying this on your show? Do you want to get endorsed this by saying that on your show? It's mental. It's like Dapper Laughs. If you don't know who he is, he was in this year's Celebrity Big Brother.
What's Celebrity Big Brother?
Yeah, but it's that, whatever it is. I only follow him because on Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook, because he's genuinely a funny guy. And he's going on, so it's like going, he did a stint with Lad Bible for Wimbledon last year. And everyone was going up saying like, "Oh, you done stuff with Lad Bible. Do you want to do stuff for my company?" Or, it was like Fiat asked him if he wanted to go and do a advert for him. And they kindly declined. But you do get people out there who take the piss. The guy who does Aussie Man reviews.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you heard of him. He's genuinely a funny bloke. Yep, Aussie Man reviews. He also does adverts for Samsung now.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Why not?
Do you know how that
distinctive voice?
He approached Samsung, not the other way around.
Or you've got huge tech YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips and that. They'll only do videos if they get it sent to them, because it costs them too much to do the videos otherwise, because the production values are so high. But they will not say something is good just because it was sent to them. Things get slated evenly. Whereas this lassie is then saying, "Look, you give me this free room, and I'll sing its praises."
Yeah,
that's being a
she's
shill.
After free shit, basically. That's all she's after.
I wanted to jump in and say she said, "Oh yeah, I can do essentially advertise your hotel." But the fact she chimed in with, last year I worked with Universal Orlando in Florida, and it's been amazing for them.
Yeah, because all their success is down to you, love.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Hold on, you're telling me this massive TV campaign, bloody adverts everywhere, no matter where you go, and you know about it already. That's all down to her.
No, it's down to TNA.
Yeah, that'd be the equivalent of like TNA wrestling, trying to expand to other buildings in the US and trying to rent the building for free, and then turning around and just saying, "Well, we get it free at Universal Orlando Studios, and look how their business is booming."
Shut
the fuck up.
It's like It's like Virgil turned up to a wrestling convention and said, your convention was amazing because I turned up.
What's worse is, it's just like, I've got 80-odd thousand subscribers. 80-odd thousand, that's fuck all in YouTuber, you know?
The better part of this is, the manager of the hotel actually replied to her and posted it online for everyone to see. Oh, in its entirety. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Everybody sit down and brace yourselves.
It's story time with Coxie. Let's go.
Dear social influencer, I know your name, but apparently it's not important to use names. Thank you for your email looking for free accommodation in return for exposure. It takes a lot of balls to send an email like that, if not much self-respect and dignity. If I let you stay here in return for a feature in your video, who's going to pay the staff who look after you? Who's going to pay the housekeepers who clean your room? The receptionist who checks you in. What's Lois doing?
Over by the sounds of it.
I'm actually putting my PS4 controller on charge.
It sounds like you're getting a little bit jiggy to Coxie's voice, if I'm brutally honest.
I'm saying nothing.
It's Jack off and over here now, isn't it?
Please
Sorry,
be seated.
Continue.
So the receptionist who checks you in, who's going to pay for the light and heat you use during your stay? The laundering of your bed sheets, the water rates. Maybe I should tell my staff they will be featured in your video in lieu of receiving payment for work carried out while you're in residence. Lucky for us, we have a significant social media following. We have 186,000 followers on our 2 Facebook pages, an estimated 80,000 on our Snapchat, 32,000 on Instagram, and a paltry 12,000 on our Twitter. But Jesus Christ, I would never in a million years ask anyone for anything for free. I also blog about Post's link, which as far as I'm aware is enough for you saying, write stuff on the internet. The above stats do not make me any better than anyone else, or afford me the right to not pay for something everyone else has to pay for. In future, I'd advise you to offer to pay your way like everyone else. And if the hotel in question believes your coverage will help them, maybe they'll give you a complimentary upgrade to a suite. This will show more self-respect on your part, and let's face it, it will be less embarrassing for you. Here's a video I produced, which you may learn from, with the link. Best regards, manager of the hotel. P.S. The answer's no.
Well played, sir.
I love it when people do that. You know, random reviews like that. It's like, Stone Grill, a local restaurant in Blackpool. When the disabled woman kicked off saying that she wasn't happy there wasn't a disabled ramp to the building, and the manager replied back in the tweet saying, in a review saying, says, well, we apologise about that, but unfortunately I not have £12,500 to fix a ramp to a Class 1 building, says, which I need to get special planning permission from the government for me to carry on this, not from the government, for the heritage site to carry on for this work to be done. But alas, all I can say is sorry about that. And she replies, well, that's a disgusting message saying back. Most people would work that out. And he goes, look, I'm here to earn a living, not for you to sit there and slate me for it.
You can't, in that respect, you can't mess about with listed buildings. KFC, for example, in Blackpool, under the tower, they've wanted toilets on that same level for years. They can't do it because that building is listed. So, which is why they're stuck with them toilets that go downstairs, which are not disabled friendly. So it's one of them. You can't. Right, if you can't do it, you can't do it.
You know, there's different grades of listed building, yeah.
Yeah, it's grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 sub, grade 3 protected, and grade 3. There's another one I can't remember what it's called. No, it's gone.
The reason I was bringing that up was purely for the case of if that building is in such a listed grade 2, I think, they're not allowed to put bathrooms on the same floor. If it's grade 1, then they've got no excuse. Because grade 1 is only exterior.
I know they're not allowed to do it. They've been told they can't, so...
Again, what are people bitching at? The toilets are in the same building.
Well, this is it. They could have put an outhouse out there. So yeah,
Because
anyway.
doesn't have disabled facilities everyone's kicking off about. Oh, we have to walk in extra 10 minutes to use the disabled toilet.
Right, I don't discuss myself to this degree this much with you guys. Paul knows about this. I myself am registered disabled because of a car accident I had. I've got severe spinal damage. I had a lady in a Tesco car park wait outside my car and started shouting and ranting and raving at me because I left my disabled badge in my glove box. Now, we had all 3 kids with us. And instead of just, asking politely or anything, she decided to kick off in Tesco car park. Accusing me of being a scumbag and everything. That is the kind of disabled people that then kick off that their facilities aren't on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you smack.
That should have given you free reign to rip her fucking head off, mate.
I only turn around and says, look, I'm not proving anything to you. I've got no reason to prove anything to you. I pay my ways the same as anybody else. And plus, my children are here and you're upsetting them. I had to explain to them the 10 miles to get back home, why she was in the wrong.
Mm.
And, our 2-year-old, he was then really distraught at all this. So that is the kind of people that then kick off like this to other people.
To be fair, I'm one of them dickheads people who child bays.
Oh yeah, that's something different though.
Mm.
The people that park in child bays that don't have children, it's just like, what are you doing?
Mm. I'm one of these people. I've seriously considered it. Literally getting sheets of them peelable stickers that you can get that are on sheets, printed off the word "cunt" repeatedly on these stickers, and every time I see one of these idiots sat in a child bay, just sticking it on the windscreen. Just the word "cunt."
But that's you wouldn't then start shouting and ranting and raving if that person then came out with a kid. You just didn't realise it.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'd hold my hands up and say, sorry, I'm at my balls up. But the thing is that what tends to be the giveaway nowadays, because it's law, is you've got to have a child seat until they're either a certain age or a certain height.
Exactly. 120
and most children are going to fit that criteria, so the easy giveaway is a fucking child seat. Simple as.
That's it.
So, it's one of them.
But my whole point to that kind of person, like this stupid woman that started ranting and raving and shouting at me in a car park in front of children, is this same kind of person that's going to rant and rave for a fucking ramp that's not installed that they probably didn't even need.
No. It's just, I have a wheelchair, which I can walk. I just prefer to use the wheelchair because I can go a little bit further in it.
Well, ask yourself this. How hard is it to get a fully laden pram or buggy up steps when it's fully laden with shopping?
Nails. Fucking nails.
But you still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You figure out a way.
So if someone's in a wheelchair, are they not going to figure out a way?
Well, there's this. It's a bit easier, I suppose, with the pram, but I get where you're coming from.
Well, they said the stairs into the building. So that's 4 or 5 steps, maybe 10 at the most.
Hmm. I think if it's a building, I think it's probably a couple of steps, isn't it, Alan?
What?
The steps that are going up to the stone grill. It's a couple of steps max.
4 or 5, but they are quite steep.
Hmm. Right, fair enough.
They have a lift on the side, don't they, or something?
I can't remember. I've not seen that.
There'll be a side entrance or something like that where they can have access.
Yeah, it's mentioned in one of the TripAdvisor reviews for Stone Grill. There's we do have a side entrance or something, which is if you ring us in advance and say, yeah, you come and you need that access, we'll have it open ready for you or something.
It's like HMV in town, in Blackpool. There's no actual public lift, but if you ask them to use it, say, for example, if you've got a wheelchair or a pram, if you ask them to use it, they'll let you use the staff one.
See, this all entails the same thing that Coxie was on about with this lassie. This whole belief that these people are self-entitled.
Mm.
Well, it's she shared the jumping back to this. She shared the post on Facebook, and she got a mixed reaction. Some accused the hotel owner of bullying, and then other people called her a spoiled brat. So she posted a response video, which was a 17-minute video, where she actually I've not watched it, but it covers this. She breaks down in tears and talks about how the events left her angered and humiliated.
Did she shout repeatedly, "Leave Britney alone"?
Would have not surprised me.
This thing she's quoted from the video as saying, "As a 22-year-old girl who's running her own business from her home, I don't feel like I did anything wrong. These were all
monetizing that word on this YouTube channel, even though she's got a shit amount of subscribers for that."
Well, these are all 30 years plus people internet bullying a 22-year-old girl who's just trying to run her own business and raise awareness of what appeared to be a stunning Dublin hotel. I really don't know what their intent was. It was just malicious.
Really?
And then
Their intent is to be a business.
But then the hotel has since gone on their Facebook and said, following the backlash received after asking an unidentified blogger to pay for a hotel room, I've taken the decision to ban all bloggers from our hotel and cafe. The sense of entitlement is just too strong in the blogging community, and the nastiness, hissy fits, and general hate displayed after one of your members was not granted her request for a freebie has given your whole industry a bad name. I never thought we'd been inundated with negative reviews for the simple reason that someone's required to pay for goods received or services rendered. The girl in question was never identified in my original post, but she herself went on to create a video explaining how she was exposed with malicious intent for asking for a freebie. The victimisation is very prevalent in the blogging industry and is in keeping with their general modus operandi of wanting everything for nothing. If any of you attempt to enter our premises from now on, you'll be ejected.
Good. And for the record, anyone from RAD Podcast, we will be paying our fucking way. We're not scroungers. That's if we ever get more than 10 subscribers. But yeah, I agree. Why should they why should they let anyone have anything for free regardless of a whether if this random shithouse of a blogger to Cristiano Ronaldo? They're no different. They're still human. They're still shit the same. They're still piss the same. They still sleep the same. Why shouldn't they pay for it?
Exactly.
You know. Who was yawning? Because I think that pretty much sums up how everyone's feeling tonight, and I think it's probably time at this point to end it on that note.
I was just going to chime in for the last part there. I was about to say, well, if you look at all this traffic she generated for Universal Studios in Orlando, all the business she must have brought them in from her channel.
Oh, absolutely.
Get to fuck.
Yeah, get to fuck. You fucking liar.
People need to stop trying to be all self-entitled, like they need everything.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would go with that.
The world owes them a favour.
Yeah. Which it doesn't. You won't.
I mean, be free stuff.
Give me free shit. People can give us free shit if they want. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to ask for it.
We'll review it fairly though. So if it's shit, you'll get tell it's shit.
Absolutely. You want to give us something to review? We'll review it. We'll be fair. If it's shit, it's shit. If it's great, it's great.
What's worse is though, if you send it to me, I literally will take the piss first.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll get objective point by the end of it.
Eventually, 6 hours later.
We'll get there. We get that 59 minutes of it having the piss taken out of it, and 1 minute of going, you know what, it's actually not that bad.
Sounds about right.
Hashtag true story.
Yeah, absolutely. On that bombshell, I think we'll end it there. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Obviously, you can find us on Facebook on www.facebook.com/UKRAD Podcast. You can find us on Twitter @UKRAD Podcast. We are on, where are we at? We're on Stitcher, iTunes, obviously Spreaker, YouTube, and wherever you can find good podcasts. Coxie,
Pornhub.
Plug yourself. Probably Pornhub.
Yeah, check out Pornhub.
You're my wank now, babe.
No, Lost Art Podcasting. Of course, find us on Facebook, Twitter, Lost Art Podcast, YouTube, and all of our good podcast places.
Absolutely. Lewis, do you want to plug where it is you're training at? Can't remember what it's called. It's a good gym anyway.
Fighting Spirit Wrestling, which is in McGull, which is just outside Liverpool. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, and they're also available on the website www.fightingspiritwrestling.co.uk. Basically, all the information about the school, the trainers, and ways of maybe you're wanting to get some wrestling training under your belt as well. That's the place where I go. You're more than welcome to join.
Absolutely. Alan, do you want to plug Reflex?
Yep, Reflex, we are open from today. So tonight, right now, is the opening. I think they just opened about 2 hours ago. We're open at weekends until Easter weekend, and then we go full-time from there till, I think it's the 10th of November when we close down for the season. So we have a restaurant upstairs, and, of course, the nightclub downstairs, playing everything from 60s, 70s, 80s, and the cheesiest of now. So, yeah, let's see you down at the bar.
And grab a burger from upstairs, because Alan's probably cooked it.
Probably. Most likely I have done.
So if you get food poisoning, you know who to blame.
Fuck
or
off.
If you get a burger with a few bites missing.
Yeah.
That's the one.
No. I'm going to say this now. When you start working with food, you just lose all appetite. It's just like, you look at it, you go, oh, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. I come home, it's like, I'm not eating anything all day. Have to force myself to get something to eat because I've just been working with food.
Yeah, you'll get fed up of it, see the sight of it all day, won't you? So I can understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Xander, apart from your bath, anything you want to plug?
No.
His anus.
His anus.
No. I'm on YouTube if people watch good racing videos, but that's about it.
Fucking plug away, man. Plug it away.
I just don't care.
Where can we find this YouTube channel?
Look for Xander MCN.
Sorry, Xander MCN?
Yep, look for Xander MCN. You'll find my YouTube channel.
There you go.
I race against a lot of the aliens and that you find in iRacing and Assetto Corsa.
There you go, then. So, yeah.
Oh, I do want to do one more plug, actually, come to think of it. If you go onto Facebook and look up Battlefield 1 Xbox One community, we do Friday night gaming with the developers from Battlefield 1, DICE and Frostbite, where you could probably unlock some dog tags that are unique to the developers. So it's a shout out to everyone, Kelly, Jesse, the other Morrison, because there's more than one Morrison in this group. It's fucking weird. So yeah, you'll see us all on there. We game every day. If you play on the Xbox One, if you go onto your Battlefield servers, if you type in Xbox XB1C, and you'll look up our rented servers. We've got about 6 on there, US as well as European.
Absolutely.
Done.
And while I'm at it, while you're talking about gaming, you can download the Lost Art of Rad stable now on WWE 2K18.
Delightful.
Yes, Coxie.
God, what's the tag? It's #rad or #LAOP.
Or to hashtag both of those, because if you use #rad and #LAOP, LOAP even. Oh, is it the other way around? LAOP, sorry. I got it right the first time. You'll find me, Coxie, and James Bunkle, known as the Mailman, on there. So, yeah, go ahead and download them and beat them up to your heart's content.
I thought Visceral was dead.
Oh,
Dear me. And on that bombshell, I think we'll finish the show. Thank you guys for listening. It's been a pleasure. I've been Paul, the Hat Guy Flinders.
I've been Al Morrison.
I've been myself. Lewis.
Oh, is it me? It's a goodbye from me and a happy Rusev Day!
Rusev Day! Rusev Day! Rusev Day!
Rusev Day!
And I've been Coxie.
That's why I wanted to be last, because, you know, it would have been much more of a fitting ending.
Fair point. We'll remember that next time.
Yay!
So, yeah. Keep your ears to the ground. We don't know when the next RAD podcast will be, but it will be soon. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, and good night.
Hooray!
Take a walk down by the sea, picking up colored shells in the sand. Seagull, I watch your wings, silver circus in a cloudy land. Even when the winds blow lonely, when lightning cracks the black sky's face, seagull, I can hear you calling. Time and space, I want to know how it makes you feel, and what your restless wings can find.
This podcast is part of BritPod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritPodScene.com or BritPod Scene on Twitter to find out more.